to Fast Break for this week, as we're going to talk all about round 17 and also round 18 coming up this weekend. And we've got lots to happen, I guess, in our final round. And also we have our gala night, BWA gala night. So all the awards will be announced this week, and everything that you guys, I guess, have been waiting for this season: MVPs, Defensive Player of the Years, coaches head coaches of the year, and even 6 women, 6 man of the year, first team, second teams, everything. So very excited, and we're going to get into it, but have to shout out to my sponsors: Base Compression, Ace Ballers, and Hoop With Them. So give them a follow and also check their socials also. And for Base Compression, if you're ever looking to buy anything from their website, fastbreak_15 for 15% off everything on their website. So use that code and you can get 15% off. But I'm very excited for our first guest, because we better get into it. Talk Women's as always to start it off. And joining me, head coach of the Goldfields Giants, it's Jaymi Worthington. Jaymi, I really appreciate your time, and I've been trying to get you on for a few weeks, and we just haven't been able to get it, schedules together. But thank you so much for your time.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
All good. And Jaymi, there's it's come out that you've been, for a nominee for the head coach of the year, and I think that may be a good place to start. How are you feeling about that? You've got some really, really good company. You got Brad Robbins in there with you, Russell Hahn, as we've known, won multiple championships with Coburn. How are you feeling about the news about your nomination for head coach of the year?
Just feeling really humbled, I think. No one was more shocked than me. Feeling very humbled to be in the company of all those great coaches who've had massive history in the league. And I think that that recognition is, not just about me, it's about our organisation, and obviously the players as well, how they've been playing this season have got us into a position where we're in finals contention. And I guess that's all a part of it as well, so it's a big group of us, I guess, that have got that nomination. So I'm just really proud of how we're going.
Yeah, well, congratulations on it. Amazing, nominee for you, and to hopefully have you in the running for that this weekend. That's going to be amazing at Crown. So you'll definitely be there with the girls, hopefully, as you got your game on Saturday. A tough game coming up against Warwick, in top 4. And most of the season, as I said off air, your girls have been in top 5. I know losing Sierra for a few weeks was tough. And I've even said off air, I think, if you could have had Sierra, if she maybe didn't have the injury, could have definitely stayed in that top 5. But in 6th position, 9 and 10. Quickly, how are you feeling about your girls and how they've done this season on court? Because, like we said off air as well, this is the first time in history for the Goldfields Giants women's that you'll go to the finals, here in 2026.
Yeah, been very impressed with how the girls have gone this year. We obviously had a really great start, and as the season progresses, little things happen. You have some injuries. Obviously, Sierra going down was tough for us, but I think the girls rallied together and we were very competitive. And there was a few games I think that we felt slip through our fingers. So to sort of be holding on to 6th place is massive, because I guess the top 6 end up having a home final, and I think it would be great reward for our home crowd if we can get a home final, but it will all depend on how things go this weekend.
And that's going to be a massive clash, as we said, against Warwick. And I always say they're like a kind of a WNBL full team, really, because they're starting 5 all on WNBL squads, and then you've also got former Olympian Nat Burton coming off the bench, so they're a tough team. And you would have had get your girls ready, I guess, this week. What a stacked lineup. What can you say about Warwick? And as well, last year losing the grand final, they definitely have a fire under their belly to get back there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think from 3rd all the way through to 8th, nothing's set at the moment. So every game this weekend is going to be important. So I know that they'll probably be wanting to hold their spot, so they've got to perform. So they'll be looking to come out strong against us. So, and we're in the same position. We're trying to hold on to sixth spot. So I think it would be a great contest, and yeah, we'll be ready to give it our best this weekend.
Yeah, you are correct. I would say, yeah, exactly. From third position all the way down to about 10th
Mm.
is going to be tough because Eastern Suns 7 and 12 in 10th position. Perth Redbacks have had a rocky, kind of couple of weeks. 7 and 12 as well, and Lakeside 8 and 11 in 8th position. Joondalup
Yep.
Wolves in 8 and 11 as well, and then your girls 9 and 10 in 6th. Mandurah
Mm-hmm.
5th, 13 and 6. Warwick 13 and 6 in 4th. So
Yep.
yeah, as you said, this is going to be a really big finish. A lot more of the games on Friday night, and then also we've got them on Saturday in the middle of the day, at midday really.
Mm.
Yeah, look, this is going to be an incredible finish to the season. But
Definitely.
but I wanted to ask about a couple of your players on the roster, and we've got to start off
Yep.
first with Sierra Moore because Sierra,
Mm-hmm.
as you know, it's I shouldn't really need to tell you because she's a professional. Firstly, as we know, had her on the show. She was great and a great person as well. You would love what she kind of provides for you on the court. 24 points a game, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and she's won I think about 4 or 5 Foot Locker Player of the Weeks as well.
Yeah.
And she'd have a lot of new shoes, I'd say, this season. But I feel like she's definitely the favourite for the MVP. But depending how it goes, because of the voting system, we'll see how it goes. But Sierra,
Yeah.
how she's played, I definitely feel like she is a favourite. But speaking to Sierra, she seems like she's a team first kind of person. Doesn't really care about those those awards. But talk about Sierra on the court and also off the court. And what were the reasons for kind of getting her over to the Goldfields?
I think with her, when she first arrived, we knew how competitive she was, and it was great to chat with her before she arrived in Kalgoorlie. So she knew coming in what we were about and how our goal was to make the playoffs for the first
Mm-hmm.
time. So for her, her competitiveness and obviously her professionalism, just having that experience is really helpful for me. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like to recruit older players, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like older players in our environment, particularly because we're a young group, has just been so beneficial. We had Nikki Gilday last year in
Yeah.
the point guard position, which helped us immensely. She was like a coach on court. And I guess having those experienced players come into our lineup really does help me as well as a coach. Her coming in and her versatility, I guess when she come in and I got to chatting to her, she said, I'm a scorer. And I think we can
Mm.
definitely say that she's a scorer. She gets it done. When she has the ball in her hands, there's a very good chance that she's going to get to the rim. And I think that just with her, how she attacks the basket, that was a huge
Mm-hmm.
thing for us because we really did struggle with that finishing under contact and how physical the league has gotten. She's just that strong body that we needed. So yeah, have just been so impressed with her. Off the court, she's just got a great personality. The girls, we've got a great bunch of girls that get along really well. So it's all about having the right people that are going to fit into the mix. And, you know, mixing personalities is a hard thing, especially when you're bringing in so many different players from different parts of the world and things like that. So, yeah, I've just been really happy with how everything's been going. And I feel like our culture side has been quite good as well.
Well, someone else who's won a Player of the Week from Foot Locker is Delaney Byrne as well. 21
Mm.
points a game, 12 rebounds, and she really had to step up, especially in the time Sierra was out, and maybe a little bit younger than Sierra, but
Yeah.
also from the States is an important position. What can you say about Delaney and what she's brought to this team this year?
I think with Delaney, she was one of those players that I'd spoken to in previous seasons. I think last
Mm.
season I spoke to her, and it just didn't work out with the timing of where she was playing and being able
Mhm.
to get here, because that's another thing as well. We like to have our girls here as early as possible. I know other teams have the luxury of waiting a few weeks into the season
Yeah.
sometimes to get their girls, but we sort of like to have them as close to the start of the season as we can. And this year it worked out that Delaney could be here. And she's just, I mean, once again, recruited her for her versatility and how she can get up and down the floor. Love the fact that a lot of her coaches had said that she was a team first player. She plays defense and obviously her shooting as well. Being able to
Hmm.
stretch the floor, that was massive for us. If you speak to her, she doesn't really like playing the five that much. um, and same with Sierra, she doesn't really like playing the four that much. But
Hmm.
they've taken that role on for us really well, and I think the Australian League, the way it's gone, particularly in the West, I guess, and across the nation, the way that the style of play, I think those girls really fit into that style of play that we want to play, which is like the modern style, I guess.
Mm. Well, as well, adding to those girls, you've got a veteran in Rachel Pettit who moved
Mhm.
from Mandurah to the Goldfields. 10 points, a game, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and as well, I think a very big signing. A lot of people might have not thought too much about signing Rachel Pettit, but
Yep,
someone like myself, I've watched Rachel for a long time. I've been around the league for a long time. This was a very valuable signing and a get for you
definitely.
for your team because she is a vet. She's been around and she knows her way around a basketball court, and also from lots of things I've heard from Vladilava and also other people around Mandurah, she was a great person as well. So a very very big signing for your girls. I think it was also last year she made the move.
Yeah, it was. So I think a couple of the past coaches had tried to get Rach to Kalgoorlie before, but it just
Mm.
worked out in my favour that I asked her last season and she was ready to make a change. And she's a school teacher, so being able to come out to Kalgoorlie and work was a big draw card for her as well. And
Hmm.
just a little bit of a change, and I guess having a bit of a different opportunity. So last season she, you know, was really great for us, but I think for her, she probably wasn't as happy as what she is this season. Like this year, settling into the team, she's come out and had some big games for us, and her shooting's been phenomenal. Like she's one of those
Hmm.
girls that, she won't miss in a warm up. She's just got a really great work ethic, and I think for us having her experience and her defensive capabilities as well, we've given her jobs where we've asked her to lock down players. She
Hmm.
is such a great defensive player as well, and just gets after and does all the one percenters. And I think that's so important as well in a team that we have players like that.
Hmm.
So yeah, been really impressed with her season this year. So hopefully she can keep going.
And also Alexis Panner as well, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Very, very strong player as well. I've seen her play a couple of times now this season. But someone who is up and coming, there's always, I feel like in the Goldfields, there's always someone on your roster every year that is up and coming. There's a lot, a high ceiling for this player, and hopefully we can see her, I guess, evolve and also make it to the WNBL one day from
Mm.
the Goldfields. Is Chloe Zortzi as well. So what makes Chloe so special? And do you believe you could maybe one day see her in the WNBL or even higher?
Oh, definitely. Oh, just touching on Lexi and Yami
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well, our
yeah,
two Filipino girls. Lexi was one I also tried to get last season,
yeah.
and same thing, it just didn't work out. So these girls have been putting in the work for a little while.
Hmm.
So for her, she got 12 assists, I think, last game. Just
Hmm.
the way she can find players is just phenomenal. So big part of our success is her being able to distribute the ball to players
Hmm.
in the right spot. And Yami, this is her second season with us, and
Yeah.
she's just been an absolute pleasure to coach. She still calls me coach. Um, she's just got this massive respect thing and work ethic defensively, and just her speed. Everyone loves coming to watch Yami play in
Hmm.
Kalgoorlie, especially the Filipino community. They all love her.
Hmm.
So yeah, they're great bunch to have around. But just on Chloe. Yeah, just seeing her as a young girl growing up in Kalgoorlie and coming through, I guess, purely through Kalgoorlie and just taking the opportunities when she's been given them. It's
Mhm.
been great to see her really step out this season because she's been part of the Perth Lynx Training Academy,
Yeah.
which has been hard for her because she has been travelling down to Perth during the middle of the week. So she'll catch either drive down or catch a flight, train on the Wednesday morning, be back in time for our training. She hasn't really missed any NBL1 training either. So I've seen a real improvement in her game, and she's actually been so receptive to feedback. She's always asking our assistant coaches to give her extra film or things on
Mhm.
the side that can help her to improve. And I think that's really important because some people don't like watching themselves when they play a bad game. But I think that that's when you really need to be watching when you're playing your worst games. That's where you
Mhm.
can learn the most. So, yeah, really hope that she has a great few years in the college system, and hopefully she'll be able to come back and play in Kalgoorlie when she's on her break, maybe like some
Yeah.
other girls are around the league, and yeah, and do what these other girls have been doing, which is put in the work, put in the years, and then eventually get the reward of going up to the WNBL.
Mm. Well, yeah, I didn't actually know that she was making a trip
Mm.
midweek, so that's huge. So shout out to Chloe, and yeah, I've heard a lot of things about Chloe, and also from games I've seen. Yeah, so hopefully they can, she gets to college, does her thing, comes back, and hopefully
Yeah.
suits up for the Giants as well.
Yep.
But Jaymi as well, shout out to all your girls. I feel like you're very close to a lot of all your players, and you love them all.
Yep.
But yeah, a shout out to all of them. They've all been great this year. And yeah, but firstly, we got to go to round 17
Yep.
for the games we had this week. And in this one, Mandurah taking on the Perth Redbacks at Belmont Oasis and Leisure Centre. The Mandurah Magic really came in and defeated and were dominant against the Redbacks. And Redbacks really, like everyone, they need every win. And they're really fighting for, a top 8 position. Went down pretty tough in this one against Mandurah. Mandurah went out to a 23-3 first quarter. And I even said in commentary, I was commentating this one, and I haven't seen a 3-point first quarter for maybe anyone in a very long time. I've seen a couple, under 10, under double digits, but 3 points was a tough start for the Redbacks. And that was on Tim Rengelik's birthday as well. So he was having
Oh no.
having a bad start. But
That's not good.
yeah, but they did improve in the second quarter, also
Mm.
third. But yeah, Mandurah were too strong. But Paddy Brosman, 13 points, 11 rebounds, trying her best to do what she could do. Sophie Doran, 8 points for her. Sam Ashby really struggled in this one, 7 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists early on. And also had a lot of fouls drawn against the Redbacks as well. But Mandurah took full advantage. Michaela Pivic as well, 19 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Mia Jacobs as well, a 19 and 7. Claire Jacobs with 18, and Sean Hayward also with 12. So yeah, a very impressive team at Mandurah, and they would be a team everyone has to have them circled and quickly. Yeah, they're a very impressive group, Jamie.
Oh, absolutely. I think that when we played them, that was the game that Sierra went down, and
Yeah.
once that happened, we really struggled to keep up. But they seem to be improving week in, week out. So I think they're definitely one to watch because they seem to be playing some pretty good basketball at the moment. So
Mm.
be interesting to see how far they can go in the finals.
Yeah, and they've had a tough season as well, losing multiple imports. Mia Jacobs going back to the US, and then now she's back, and then also signing in the WNBL, so they'll lose her at the end of the season. But I've heard she's here till the end of depending if they get to the finals and how far they go. Whatever happens this weekend, but yeah, she'll be with them for the rest of the season. Yeah. So anyway, we'll move to the next one. And that was Perry Lakes Hawks going down to the Coburn Cougars, and Emily Beggs in this one top scored 13 points as well. Nicola Moore as well with 12 points. Mila Warskovic as well with 10. And then also for the Coburn Cougars, Jessie Edwards. She was player of the week this week, 33 points, 11 rebounds for her. Danny Raber, another triple-double, 15 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists. J.S. Cafidi as well, a former Goldfields.
Kalgoorlie girl.
Kalgoorlie girl, yeah, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and then also Pizzuto as well with 12 points. And I know it must be tough to have players from Cal, go and move on and do bigger things. And Jay is also playing with the Perth Lynx and training with them. But I don't know if you had much to do with Jaya, but yeah, it must be really, really good to see the Kalgoorlie girls and players from the region who have moved on and are also thriving, I guess, in the league.
It's so good. I've had a bit to do with JR. She was involved in our inaugural year as in NBL1, and just a very promising junior, just very athletic. She always just had that athletic physique. She could jump, she could run, and she just, even from a very young age, had a really high IQ for the game. So sort of knew that it was something that she wanted to pursue, that she could go on and do that. And very impressive that they've done what they're doing. They've had players come in and out, the Cougars.
Yeah.
So even still with Jewel Williams out, and they didn't have Darcy Garvin, who's another Kalgoorlie girl. She was actually in my homeroom as
You
little
really?
shout out to Darcy, but she was in my homeroom when I was teaching at JPC here.
Wow.
So yeah, she was in year 8 when I first started teaching. So actually played against Darcy when she was only
Wow.
14 in Kalgoorlie. We were playing against in opposite teams in domestic competition here. But yeah, so 2 Kalgoorlie girls for the Cougars they've got. So yeah, very lucky.
Yeah, and also I think Mackenzie Clinch-Hoycard as well, from around the
Yep.
area.
She's definitely from Kalgoorlie as well. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
I think her family's still around the area, but you could make an all-star team really with a few of these girls.
exactly.
In the future, it'd be amazing if you could get all those girls, including Darcy as well, to the Goldfields and maybe raise a banner. That'd be amazing.
Oh, it would be. It would be very good.
But yeah, some great talent. That's what I was just trying to show as well. There's a lot of players, and even more. I bet you could name 10 more people or around the area that have gone on to do big things. And then next up, the Eastern Suns having a well-needed win against the Slammers. As we know, the Slammers haven't had amazing seasons, what they would have expected, but they still have been competing every game and really looking good, and hopefully building on for the next season. They've lost a few players as well, imports leaving as well. But Gabby Brosnan, in this one, 30 points, 8 rebounds. Trista Hull, just the 10 points, but 26 rebounds, 5 steals as well. Alyssa Bowen, also 12 points, Emma Streeline as well, with 10. And then Yume Knoll off the bench with 10 also. And then Casey Payer as well, 21 points, 5 steals, 3 assists. Melanie Hoyt as well, 10 points, 9 rebounds. And then also on Saturday night, the Madra Magic got another big win over the Hawks. Mia Jacobs, 25 points, 5 rebounds. Michaela Pivic as well, 20 points, 10 rebounds. Mia Jacobs, 14 points, 22 rebounds. Sean Hayward adding 9 points. Jade Gowland also with 9 points. And then for the Perry Lakes Hawks, McKenna Marisa as well, 10 points, 10 rebounds. Ellie Newman with 8 points. Mia Bailey also with 13 points, 6 rebounds. Mila Woskovic as well, 7 and 4. And then another game for the Coburn Cougars and also a doubleheader for the Perth Redbacks. 97-75 win for the Cougars. Jessie Edwards, big weekend for her, 35 points, 16 rebounds. Danny Raber, 21 and 11. Sierra Walker as well, 16 points. And then Olivia Berry was massive. This is her highest scoring game. And she was also a former player who's played for the Goldfields, came over from New Zealand. 29 points, 3 rebounds. Sam Ashby with 16 as well. And then also Sophie Doran with 6. Amy Borchett as well, who's also a former Cal girl as well. 8.6 rebounds. And I've never met Amy before until a few weeks ago. I got to travel with the Perth Redbacks. An amazing person. I have a lot of time for Amy. And I think you would have coached her in your first season there as head coach, couple seasons as well. Amazing for her as well. Signing with the Redbacks and moving to Perth. Maybe another tough person, that you've had to let go.
Yeah,
to
definitely.
move on.
she had a bit of a tough time in Kalgoorlie because she was coming back from injury. So
Yeah.
it was so great to see her back on court and, doing really well. And I think she's just getting stronger and stronger each week. So, yeah,
Mm.
really happy for her that she's gone well.
Mm. And then the Rockingham Flames getting a win against the Willetton Tigers, 98-62. Sarah Puckett as well, 23-10. Tej Morell, 18-14 in this one. Tiana Wilson-Palmer with 13.6 rebounds. And then Lasila Finau, 13.7 rebounds. Paris Duffield, also, I think it was 250 for her, if I'm
I think it was
correct.
200. I think it was
200?
200 because we celebrated Ashley Sidebottoms as well on Saturday
You
night.
did. I
So,
apologise.
yeah. Yeah, no, that's okay.
I did see that.
But yeah, I think it was 200, but yeah, you might be right. I don't know.
That's okay. I've actually completely forgot because maybe that's where I'm getting mixed up. But
Yep.
amazing for Ashley as well. I know she's been a long time giant as well, and played around the league. But
Yes.
Paris Duffield, 16 points, and congratulations to her also. Emma Calvert, in this loss, 23 points, 8 rebounds. Emma Gandini, 12 points, 9 rebounds. Carla Drennan also with 7. And then also the Warwick Senators, 91-64 win against the Lakeside Lightning. Esmeralda Morales, 20 points and 6 assists. And then also Delaney Crawford, also 14-10. Sammy Roscoe with 8 points, 7 rebounds. And then Warwick, Mackenzie Clinch-Hoycutt, 22 points, 5 rebounds. Chloe Forster, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Kana Weir as well, 12 points. And then Greta Campschroeder, 9 points, 9 rebounds. And later on, we can talk a little bit more about Warwick and maybe, maybe not your full game plan against them,
No.
but we can have a little bit of a taste of maybe what's to come. But then
Yep.
we'll move to the last game of the round. The Goldfields Giants just going down to the Joondalup Wolves. Sierra Moore, 20 points, 13 rebounds. Delaney Byrne, 15 points, 19 rebounds. And then Hazel Yam as well, 12-10 for her. And then Rachel Pettit with 8 points. Partner as well with 12. And then Chloe Zorzi, as we mentioned earlier in the show, 15 points for her off the bench. A great showing for her. And then for Joondalup, Kim Pierre-Louis, 23-14. Awatia Leach as well, 19 points in this one. AJ Johnson, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. And then Rosie Deegan off the bench with 10 points. So I guess tough this week going down against the Wolves. I think the Wolves have been very up and down, very inconsistent. I'm normally a very positive guy and I love to show love, but that's the only worry for the Wolves this year and going into finals. Hopefully they can make it this year. Look, they're looking good, and their chances are good. But yeah, maybe talk about this one, Jaymi. I guess a tough loss, but I always like to hear maybe the positives and what you can bring out of this game to, this week against Warwick.
Well, that game was, I guess, a little teaser into the finals because we were both playing for something. If we had have won that game, that would have secured our spot in 6. And for them, they were playing for their, 8 spot, sort of to get back into the 8. So it felt like there was something to play for. And to Wolves' credit, they shot extremely well. I know that they've beaten some top teams, East Perth and Cougars, so they do
Yeah.
have the potential to, shoot the lights out and play a great team game. And I think that's what they brought against us. At one stage they were shooting 78% from the 3-point line.
Yeah, wow.
And I guess as a coach, when you're coaching against a side that generally doesn't have a great shooting percentage in terms of, for the majority of the other games, that's something, first of all, we were willing to almost pick our poison in that regards, but then it was like, okay, we need to adjust now. They're hitting all their shots. And yeah, while we had a slow start, we got back into the game and we got ahead and we sort of let the game slip away from us in the last quarter. They just really come out aggressive and we just couldn't keep up. So yeah, we're a little bit disappointed, and I think that coming out of that, we've learnt a lot. We've been working on a few things at training this week to make some adjustments, and just have some things in our back pocket so we know what to do when the game gets to that point where it's crucial to score. Like, what do we need to do to make sure that we can maintain our lead and just keep the lead? Because I think that's a skill in itself as well. So yeah, hopefully we can learn from it and take that now into finals coming up.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, as you mentioned, some lessons learned this week. And also, I guess a tough thing as well is learning how to win as well. You
Mm.
know, going from a team not being able to get to the finals now, really pushing as this as the group and also the culture of your club as well grows, is also teaching these girls how to win. Also, if you know what I mean, you know that is
Oh,
another something
absolutely.
else.
Yeah, last season we
Hmm.
found that was almost, it took us a little bit to get that because we were right in games, and
Mm.
it was almost like, okay, we need to win this. How do we win from here now? So I
Hmm.
think that the momentum of last season, the girls having that experience has led into this season, especially the local girls. So hopefully, that can keep rolling on.
Mm. Well, that's all the games for round 17. And yeah, we're going to talk about round 18 very quickly. But
Hmm.
before that, I always like to give the viewers or also the listeners of the show maybe a little bit of a background to you, Jaymi, and also the guests. And as I said to you off air, no, you weren't disrespected about it, but I didn't know much about you, Jaymi. I'd only known you've really been the head coach for a couple of years. And yeah, I guess the first female coach there at the Goldfields Giants at the NBL1 level. But yeah, and also shout out to, as I said off air, Tanya Fisher, who I coached with a few years ago and a legend of the club. She always said to me, Jake, there needs to be more women
Hmm.
at the helm in this league, in the women's league especially. And she said even in the men's. You know, we've got Janelle Morley also there at East Perth and plenty more, and then yourself. So no, we do love it, and I do want to ask you, how did you feel when that appointment came? Because we're going to talk about it. You know, there is a long history of your family with this club, and it must have meant a lot to you to actually be at the helm and yeah, take the reins, I guess.
Yeah, I think that I've always been a big advocate for women's sport and
Hmm.
women's basketball, and I think that getting into coaching is something I really enjoyed, especially at the development level, and not necessarily always had the dream of coaching at a high level, but I think that it sort of fell into place that in Kalgoorlie we don't have a lot of
Hmm.
options for coaches with a lot of experience. So it was a massive learning opportunity for me, and I think that it was something that I really wanted to take on. So yeah, to be able to coach the Giants, where I've sort of grown up in Kalgoorlie and things like that, it's yeah been a big proud moment, I guess.
Mm. Well, as well, talk about growing up in Kalgoorlie,
Mm.
and I guess you can talk about your background and or your basketball journey, really. As I mentioned, which you can talk about, your grandfather was a big part and one of maybe the founders of the club and the local clubs there in Kalgoorlie, and then also your mum, your aunties as well were involved heavily in this club. So you're really meant to be there. It's through the bloodline, really. And then your daughter's also on the squad as well, which must mean a lot. So
Mm.
yeah, I guess talk about all of that, and because well, I guess this club must mean a lot to you, as there are a lot of family ties.
Definitely. Yeah, my pop, Jack Neal, he
Mhm.
was a big part of the committee that got the very first basketball started in Kalgoorlie. So we've always had our local domestic clubs.
Yeah.
And until the Giants were able to bring in a men's side, and then obviously finally got to get a women's side as well, it was just a lot of domestic basketball, and it is still quite huge here with all our local clubs. And my mum, I just grew up watching my mum and her two sisters play, and my pop was their coach. So they were playing
Mm.
Division 1 women here in Kalgoorlie, and just we were always down at the stadium. We just grew up around basketball, like I suppose a lot of people do. And I think that just it was in the bloodline, like you said. I played from a young age. I did a little bit of rep stuff, but nothing too elite. I always like Nat. Kate Fielding is actually
Hmm.
someone who's my age, so she's still playing. Oh well, she
Hmm.
was still playing last year, so
Hmm.
yeah, so that was sort of my era there. But I didn't pursue basketball as a player other than just playing in Kalgoorlie. And then I moved to Perth to go to university, and I did a Bachelor of Science in Exercise and Health and then did a Diploma of Education. So I ended up back in Kalgoorlie after living in Perth for a few years, and I guess the next step in the journey was to start coaching. And so being a teacher, I love being part of that, developing juniors. So I pretty much started coaching as soon as I got back to Kalgoorlie, and then I haven't really stopped since. So I'm coaching a lot of junior teams, and I also coach the Division 1 women in one of our domestic competitions. So I was sort of just doing that and doing a lot of the country champs, state champs coaching for the junior teams. And then I was lucky enough to get asked by our past coach, Rob Thompson, to be a part of the Wobble program that we were able to put the Goldfields Giants team in for the very first time. And I think that for me and a lot of other players, like the Jacinta Bournes, the Talisha Bournes, those sort of players that have played in Kalgoorlie have had to move to Perth to be able to pursue their basketball dreams, I guess. And even though we've had a lot of players back in the 80s and 90s, I guess, as well, around when my mum and that were playing, um, they they had to move to Perth to go and play SBL. So a lot of, people don't want to do that because there's work here. There, Kalgoorlie's big for work, so you don't necessarily want to move to Perth just to pursue that. So I think that it was, we could have had a team in a long time ago, but it was just so great that we eventually had that team, and I was able to be a part of the assistant coaching staff. And Rob and Ryan Hoff did a massive job in putting in an application to move our team from D League into NBL1, and it was successful. And I was able to be the assistant coach for that for the first 2 seasons. So, yeah, just I think it was just that natural progression for me as a coach to go from coaching juniors, coaching domestically here, and then going into that side of things, because I do really like coaching. I really like the development side of it, I guess. The elite coaching, coaching at a higher level,
Yeah.
is a bit tougher. But yeah, I do really like seeing those stories like the Chloe Zorzies and, girls coming through our program.
And as I said, a very successful year this year. And off the court, I guess you and your husband have a very successful business in Cal, and you can plug that and talk about that as well, because you're a teacher also. You've got a lot going on, and there must be a lot in the daily life of you, Jaymi.
Yeah, definitely. You know how hard it's been to pin me down. I think that
Yeah.
was probably the biggest challenge when I become the head coach, because it's something that you need to dedicate a lot of time to, even though it's technically a part-time job. It feels like a lot more than that. So I've been very lucky that I guess we do have a business. My husband does a lot of the heavy lifting on that side. I help out where I can, but it's been great that he's allowed me to pursue, my passion, I guess, and supported me in doing that. So, yeah, very, very lucky. We're obviously in mining and everything in
Yeah.
Kalgoorlie, so it's a completely different field. But also, the thing is with Kalgoorlie, we need to that support behind us to be able to run this program. So there's been so many businesses out there that have helped us to get to where we are, sponsoring the program. We don't have the backing of a lot of Perth clubs like, the Wobble programs and things like that. So our money, majority of it comes from sponsorships. So we're pretty lucky in that regard that we have. That's where my husband comes in, which is really great. He's got a lot of mining connections, so he's always trying to see where we can get those sponsorships, and we've had a lot of support. So, yeah, couldn't really do it without the backing of those guys.
And then again, as you mentioned, with all the sponsors, all the support you guys get, how special is it there, the community? I know I've only been there once, and especially it was when the old stadium was there, so a couple of years ago. But like this community, they love basketball, and you get that with the smaller, I guess, towns, country towns. They really back their club. What do you love about the community there in Kalgoorlie?
Well, when I recruit players, it's obviously tough to pull them
Hmm.
away from the Perth teams because you've got the beautiful beaches and the city lifestyle. So
Hmm.
I guess our big promotion is the community aspect. It's knowing people going down the street, the players are recognised. It's also the community coming down and supporting, and it's something very unique that not a lot of places have. I guess Geraldton is very similar in that way as well. So Sierra's actually gone in and started doing a little bit of work within the schools. And we've actually, I think she did mention it on this podcast, that we've had some of the high school boys come down who are sort of part of our D League men's program, but they come down and help us at training sometimes when we have low numbers and things like that. And we want to
Hmm.
have some stronger bodies in there. So it's just all that side of things where everyone sort of knows everyone in the basketball community. So I think that that is a big draw card that we sort of really push. That even though you've got everything here that you sort of need, but it's just that community feeling and the friendly vibes around the club and the community.
Mm. And then as well, I always like to ask with the regional, teams, do you feel that the time you guys spend on the bus together and the girls spend on the bus, do you think that is I guess, part of why your girls have improved this year? You look at Geraldton men's as well, yeah, and also as well they'll be getting a women's team too, which I'm very excited about,
It is
and
exciting, yeah.
that's going to be great. But yeah, do you feel like that's I guess, a plus for your team? It is a long travel, but the time that your girls get to mesh, be together, and spend time, do you think that is a bonus for your team and maybe the success?
I think so. I actually enjoy the bus trips. It's really weird because you
Yeah.
wouldn't think spending 7 hours on a bus with, two basketball teams is going to be that great, but it is quite fun. The boys have their table and they get out the cards and, then
Mhm.
you'll have someone with speaker and they're playing some old tunes and everyone's singing along. And yeah, it definitely helps with the bonding side and just,
Mhm.
I guess, like I said, touched on with before with the different personalities, I think you don't have to always get along with your teammates, but just having a respect for each other. And I
Mhm.
think that spending time with each other, learning about each other and where they've come from is so important. And I think that that really does give us the time to do that.
Mm.
And usually, if we've at least had one win on the road, it's a much more pleasant road trip back.
That is correct. Yeah. But yeah, well, amazing, Jamie, and I appreciate you sharing everything and the history of your family with the club, because it is amazing. And I like to kind of highlight at the end of the day, we're not we're all human. These players,
Yep.
these imports, they're all human. And it's same as yourself. You've got a full life. And I think, yeah, I don't say this much. I've never really said that, but something's telling me, basketball is an amazing thing. We love it, but we shouldn't take it too seriously in a way.
Yep.
I think the connections we make with people and meeting people, same as you and me. I got to meet you, at Perry Lakes and had a quick chat. That's what I enjoy mostly about it, more than the
Me
game
too.
sometimes.
Me too.
So yeah, but I appreciate you coming on. But before I let you go, let's go to the
Mhm.
games for round 18, our
Yep.
final round. And quickly, how do you feel that it's round 18? Are you exhausted and happy that it's come around? Are you upset? I feel like the season's come very quick, as it always does. As it always does. How are you feeling as we head into round 18 this weekend?
Yeah, I'm feeling excited. I mean, in the past couple of years that I've been coaching, it's sort of been the wind down. It's sort of
Hmm.
been in the point where we're saying, yep, we've still got to get something out of this season. Let's still be competitive. And I think that that's been the hardest thing in the past two seasons is keeping people focused on what our goal is, regardless of
Hmm.
whether we're winning or not. It's just building something bigger and how we can improve for the next season. Whereas this year, it's a little bit different. Again, we feel like okay, we're almost starting up again, like you go through that hard patch where you've sort of got injuries, you're sort of trying to manage your players, and then all of a sudden now you're like, okay, this
Yeah.
is new. So it's new for me, but we're excited, and I think yeah, we're hopefully building some momentum. So hopefully we see some good results.
Yeah, I think for many people, they're excited. They might be fatigued and everything like
Mm.
that. But yeah, I'm very excited for this final round and also the awards and then also finals and then RAC Arena coming up. There's so much still to come anyway. But look, I'm going to go through some tips and some games who I think is going to get these last games because all of these mean a lot. Maybe not the first one, Willerton taking on the Eastern Suns at Willerton Basketball Stadium. Willerton having a really up and down year. Players were meant to be here that had greater chances and haven't been able to come back. Same as the Annalee Maley situation. But I'm gonna go with this one with. I think Willerton can get this win. I think they really can. They've got a really, really great team. Emma Gandini kind of leading the way there. The only thing is Ruby Porter being out as well, which was a huge out for them. Emma Calvert, I think, has been doing really well also. Nija Collier, I think we can get a big game out of her this week as well. So very exciting player. I'm gonna go for Willerton, but the Suns really need this more. There's nothing in
Well,
it
I'm
really
going to
for
go for
Willerton.
Suns. I'm going to go for Suns just to go opposite to you.
So yeah, this is going to be a great matchup. And then
Yep.
also the Lakeside Lightning taking on the Southwest Slammers. And the Slammers, as we know, this year with the 3 wins, 16 losses, won't be able to make it to finals. The Lakeside Lightning are fighting. They're in 8th position. So this means a lot for them. And they've got Sam Roscoe back this week. It's at home. I think they're going to get this one. Jaymi, what about you?
Yes, I think they've got a very good chance, and they're sitting just below us as well. So it's
Mm-hmm.
sort of, they've got a lot to play for. They're probably trying to knock us off 6 spots. So, so
Yeah,
yeah, I think they might have it in the bag, even though Slammers have been, you know, had a tough run, but I think
yeah.
they've been very competitive in a lot of games too.
Yeah, that's true. And then also, this is a clash. 1 versus 3, the Coburn Cougars taking on the East Perth Eagles at Morley
Mm.
Sport and Rec Centre. Wow, I do not know who to pick for this one.
Me either.
Coburn are looking great, but they're not at what they were last year or even earlier in the season. Alex Chibatoni leaving. As you mentioned, Darcy Garvin didn't play last week, so we'll see if she's going to be in this one. I'm just going to go for Coburn though, but East Perth as well would love to get this win. They're in 3rd position. They really need to keep that 3rd position with a win here. But
I'm
I'm
gonna
going.
go. I'm gonna go for East Perth.
Yeah,
My fellow female coach in Janelle Morley.
yeah.
I'm gonna back her that she's got the tools to win this one.
Oh, definitely she can. That's at 6:30 as well at home. Also, that's going to be a really, really good matchup. So I won't be able to watch that one. But next up, the Joondalup Wolves taking on the Mandurah Magic at Arena Joondalup, and Joondalup last week, as we said, going up against your girls in 7th position, 8-11. Mandurah 13-6.
Mm,
I'm really tough with the Wolves. I'm being tough on them this year because
yeah.
we get a tremendous team and they show up and they have a great game. Work as a team. They did that, I guess, against your girls at
Yes.
home. And then you get these games where they don't turn up. They don't look like they want to be there. Even that's kind of what I've gotten.
Yep.
But I'm going to go for Mandurah in this one. I think I might go for
I
Mandurah, but
I think I'll
mm,
agree. I think I'll agree on
yeah,
that one. I think they've been playing some good basketball and
yeah.
probably can get the job done.
Exciting one, and that's on KO as well. Then the Rockingham Flames taking on the Perth Redbacks. Look, the Redbacks, they need a win. They need,
Mm.
if even if they want a chance to get into the finals, I think it may be a slim chance for them to get there, but it's still worth it, and it's still depending on what happens to Lakeside, Joondalup, and even yourselves as well. So
Yeah.
they need to dig deep and get this win, but can they do it against Rockingham? I don't think so.
Oh, I might just go against you just to just to make it keep it exciting because I think that Redbacks, yeah, they have a team that has been very competitive, and we
Mm,
always have a great challenge against them. So I think if they're all firing, they're in for a good chance.
yeah, they definitely can. We've seen stranger things happen and
Hmm.
got some great players. Sam Ashby, she could have a big one. Paddy Brosman as well, Sophie Doran on that roster. So, Sophie was with the Flames last year, so that's going to be a great game, and she's going to also take something into that. Paddy Brosman also played for the Flames also. So that's going to be a really good game. So
It
all
will
on
be, and I think
yeah,
maybe Rockingham, because they're already set in second, they might rest a few of their big names, and you
yeah.
never know what can happen then.
Yeah, we never know. And I don't think Amy is there. I think Amy's maybe playing 3-on-3 or something. I'm not 100% sure if that's right, but
I think so.
yeah. So yeah, opens a chance for the Redbacks. Imagine if they get that win. That would really be a crazy one, and
It
also
would be.
yeah, it would mess up a lot for the table also.
Yeah.
Really put pressure on Lakeside, Joondalup, and yourselves to also perform.
Oh well, maybe no, maybe
Yeah.
maybe we'll go with Flames then.
Yeah. And then on Saturday, on Gala Day, so this is going to be a great matchup in the morning, 11 a.m. at Warwick Stadium. The Warwick Centre is taking on the Goldfields Giants. I know who you're going for, Jaymi, and quickly, you don't need to talk about all of your game plan, but
No.
what do you think you have to? What do you think you have to do against Warwick this weekend to get the win, finish the season on a high note, and then have a few nice drinks on Saturday night at the gala?
I think defensively we need to make sure that we're locking down as many key players as we can. If we can sort of limit that and get our game going, which is our inside outside actions,
Yeah.
and just we just have to compete for four quarters really. So they're a team that if we're not switched on for a short amount of time, then they can run away with it. So it's just about being switched on and competing for four quarters.
I normally don't like saying this. I think Warwick have a very good chance of getting this one, but I don't think the Giants will lose this one. I don't think you girls are not good enough to play against them.
No.
I normally when someone's on the show,
Yeah.
and I'm going to pick the other team, I normally don't say it. If you go back and watch some of my other shows, I normally don't say it. But I think, to be respectful, I think Warwick will get the win.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a clash, and I'm super excited for it. As I said, I can't be there. I'm at Perry Lakes with the Gero game as well on commentary, but this is going to be a really good clash. So I've got Warwick, but I would love to see you actually get a win to end the season, and then also, make sure that you finish at least in that 6th, 7th position heading into the finals as the first finals for the Giants.
Yeah, massive for us if we can get that done. So we'll see how it goes Saturday.
Well,
and I'll see you on Saturday night.
Yeah, definitely, you will. And that's very exciting. Is there, as we said, I know you're nominated, but is there a award you're looking forward to? As we'd have to say Sierra's also up there for MVP, but we'll see how it goes on the night. But is there anything else you're excited to see? Any awards?
I guess just the MVP. I think that there's been a lot of talk around Sierra with that, and having her injured probably would have affected that a little bit, but we're still hopeful. It's pretty exciting to even have people up there in contention. So yeah, we're just looking for. I think that's going to make our night very interesting. Usually we just sit at the back, just be pretty quiet. We don't really win. We don't really win very much. So, it was great last year. Nikki Gilday got into the all second team. So yeah, it'll be nice to actually get some people up there, which will be good.
And maybe, Jaymi, you might be stepping up there receiving an award as well, because I think you also, as like the other coaches, I think you deserve it as well to be on that list. So I know you might not think so, but I do agree that you should be up there because of the work you've done with this Giant squad. But Jaymi, I appreciate your time. It was great to have you on, and good luck for this weekend. That's going to be massive, and hopefully we can get your girls in the finals this year and have a good run for it. But again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No worries. And for the viewers, do not go anywhere. We've got some men's action after this. We're going to talk about round 17 and round 18 in the NBL1 West for the men's division after this. So we're back and we're going to talk NBL1 West men's division. As we said in the women's before, we've got round 18 coming up, final round of the season, and the season's just gone so quick. And I don't know how the viewers and all the fans of the league feel, but it's been super quick for me. But yeah, I'm very excited to announce that this week, as I mentioned, also with the BWA Awards night, the gala night. It's going to be live streamed as well for the first time. So I'm going to be on there commentating, and I'm very excited to do that. I guess the first time fans and maybe people that can't attend the gala night will be able to see kind of what's going on. You'll be able to hear the announcements as they happen, and not just over posts on Instagram or Facebook. So yeah, it's going to be really cool. Check out BWA and also MBL1 West pages on Instagram and Facebook, and there will be all the links for you guys to have a watch. And yeah, I'll be there as well, so you can listen to me for the night, which I guess that's if you want to. Anyway, but anyway, we're going to continue. We're going to go on to the men's division, and joining me from the Geraldton Buccaneers, it's Matt Norman. Matt, first year in the league. First off, but thank you so much for coming on the show. And yeah, how are you loving your time in Gerald? Because a beautiful place of the world, beautiful place in WA. I know it's kind of like a smaller town, but look, a lot of imports that have played there and players, they do love Geraldton. So yeah, what are you loving about playing at Geraldton this year?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. And yeah, no, Geraldton's been great. Ever since I got here,
Mm,
everyone's been super welcoming, super um, supportive,
mhm.
It's a great community. The fans love it. The organization is top tier. The people are great. Teammates are awesome. So, and on top of all that, it's a beautiful place. It's a little quieter than Perth.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I've never lived in Perth, but Perth is a very big city. So,
Yeah,
Geraldton,
yeah.
not so much. It's next to the beach, a little quieter. And I personally, I
Mm,
prefer it a little quieter. So,
yeah.
I've I've loved it here, man.
Mm. Well, look, I haven't seen much of you personally, in person, but I did come down to the Warwick game a couple of weeks ago. Very impressive game for you, Matt. You were feeling it. 28 points, 3 assists, 5 steals in that one in 27 minutes. I guess you guys were firing, all of you. Even
Yeah,
Josh having a big game, Cooper Creek having a
sure.
double double as well. Yeah, a great game for you, and you're coming in, I guess, not so late. You've been around, most of the season, but they
hmm
had an import before you. I guess you've come into, I guess maybe late to this roster, but still a very big value to this team. You've played since, April 25th. So you've been
Yeah.
around the team and the league for a while. But yeah, this team, as you know, defending champions, and this year sitting top of the ladder. How are you guys feeling as you head into the last round of the season?
Yeah, we're feeling pretty good. I think we're feeling good, but at the same time, everyone is still like hungry and
Mm,
we feel like we have something to prove as a team. Every game we're gonna get every team's best shot, and I think that
mhm,
the the people here they understand that and do a good job of like realizing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no easy
mm.
games. Like, it's a tough league. Like, anyone can beat anyone. So if you don't come ready to play, then it's gonna be a long night. So I think you know feeling good, yeah, but understanding
Mm,
that we have a big game on Saturday and need to take care of
mm.
business heading into the finals. So yeah, just getting prepared for that and having a good week on the track this week is important. So
Yeah, you definitely want to get that win against Perry Lakes. We can talk about later on. You guys are 17 wins, 3 losses, and looking pretty good. I know it's pretty close between you guys and Rockingham, and Rockingham have some tough games as well. But
mm,
for you guys taking on Perry Lakes, that's going to be a big
yeah,
challenge. They're in sixth position. They're looking to, hopefully, maybe get into the top five, depending on what happens with Eastern Suns. And they're also tied with Wilton in seventh. So that's going to be a big test for you guys. They've got Jack Browder, amazing scorer, and then also Cam Hoofner is always playing for the Wildcats, as we know, the development player, and even Isaiah Moses. They've got a really really tough scoring team. And you being one of the guards, I guess you'll have to go up against Jack, go up against
Yeah.
Isaiah. I don't know if you've done much progress, or I guess much film this week, early in the week still. But do you know much about the Prairie Lakes guys, and have you been able to watch them lately?
Yeah, so we've been watching, me and a couple of the guys, we watch games like
Mm,
other games
yeah.
every weekend, and
Mm,
obviously Perry Lakes has been playing really well. Uh, their guards have been playing really well as of late, especially. I mean, all season, but as
mm,
of late, especially.
yeah.
So we all understand that it's going to be a challenge. They play hard. They play really hard. So it's literally one of those games, man. You got to come ready to go from the jump, and if you're not, then they're going to jump on you early. So
Mm,
just emphasizing that and not letting them, I guess, outwork us as a team because
mhm,
they're very talented, very good, but they also play hard. So just preparing for
mm,
that, I think, is going to be important.
mm. Well, going back to your team, you've got some, I guess, guys that are really exciting. They're great guys off the court as well.
Mm.
I've spoke to Josh Keys in my time. Devondrick has been around the league for quite a while. Liam Hunt as well, being the veteran he is, and a great guy also. Cooper Creek. I know maybe from what I see from the outside, maybe one of the quieter guys. And then you can't even forget about Verl Williams as well. What's it like to be around these guys off the court? I guess you guys look like you really get along, which is really a main piece of a championship team. You really got to get along off the court. And how are you in that mix? Are you kind of quieter with the guys? Do you banter with them? Because I know Josh, Devondrick, maybe Liam as well, and Verl, they'd be the loud guys on this roster. And you might
Yeah.
even, being around the roster, you might even have more guys. But yeah, like, where do you fit, with those louder guys?
Yeah, first of all, everyone is great, right? Like, they're such great dudes, like,
Mm,
hilarious off the
mhm,
court, competitors, and like absolute dogs on the court. So,
mm,
um, it's been awesome, just getting to be around these guys. But yeah, I'd definitely say I'm one of the quieter ones.
yeah.
Like I mean, that's just how I am, though. Like, I'll banter here and there and like joke around with
Mm,
the guys, but I'm not like I don't know what they say, like the center of the conversation every time.
yeah, yeah. Mhm,
But I'll dabble here and there for sure. But it's always just it's good to listen to. These guys are
mm,
great dudes. So
yeah. Well, have you been able to learn much from a guy like Devondrick Walker? Because he's the MVP of the league. He's won multiple championships. A big signing was getting him to the Bucks. I think that's one of the biggest
yeah.
signings that we had this season. He's also had G League experience like yourself, which we can talk about. But has there anything you've maybe learnt from Devondrick, even if he hasn't told you personally or verbalized it? Is there anything you've learnt from a guy like Devondrick?
Yeah, no, Devondrick has been like such a good mentor for me, and he's always
Mm,
willing to like point out things that I can work on and improve on, and just simple advice, like probably every day, to be honest with you. Like
mm,
he's always helping me out. So um, yeah, I've learned just the way he carries himself, as a pro, and the way he works out, the way he practices, the way he plays,
mhm,
and like mentally, and just he's obviously a really good scorer, really good shooter.
mhm.
He's helping me out with my shot a couple times, just little fixes here and there, but it's been a blessing to get to play beside him and learn from him and obviously implement those things into my game and my life. So
Mm.
it's been a
Yeah.
blessing for sure.
Mm. And Matt Wandenberg, who's a legend of the club, he's I think second in all games played underneath Seb Salinas. Both guys have
Yeah,
battled a lot of years, and then Liam Hunt as well, a legend of the
yeah.
club. Did they kind of run you through about joining the club and what they expect? I know they're nice guys off the floor, but there is a really I guess a lot of pressure because they are defending champions. They expect to get to the grand final. They expect championships. How were they when you came into this group?
They were great, you know. Again, super welcoming, super supportive. Um, but it's like I think it's just giving your best effort and putting your best foot
Mm-hmm.
forward is what they are really big on. And as long as we do that and we play as a team, you know, and compete every possession defensively,
Mm-hmm.
make the right reads on offense and like that kind of stuff, um, like then they'll be happy, you know. But at the same time, when I first got here, it wasn't hard to tell like how the culture was, and like you don't want to be that guy that's not fitting in and doing the
Mm-hmm.
right things. So it's like it was easy for me to say, look, okay, I gotta I gotta compete for this guy because he's going just as hard, if not harder, for me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just competing for each other that really separates this team from really any team I've been on. So, and I think it starts with those two. So
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. Correct. Yeah. Matt, we'll go to some of the games we had in round 17. As you know, round 18 coming up, and the season has just flown by. But first off, on Friday, we had the Perth Redbacks getting a 2-point win over the Mandurah Magic, and the Redbacks as well, kind of finishing off that season for Mandurah, not being able to get to the finals. The Perth Redbacks, I've heard, have had have a very slight chance, but I guess it depends what happens to the East Perth Eagles as well this weekend. So we'll see how they go. But I've heard there is a very close chance. Isaac Eder in this one, 35 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He was massive and a big reason for this win, helping for this win. Sean Conway as well, 20 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. And then Connor Mitchelton as well, 11 points of him. Nick Floyd went down with a bit of an ankle injury, but he was 10 points, 9 rebounds. And Luke Phillips, 9 points, 12 rebounds. And for Mandurah, Michael Christmas, 33 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. Mike Dupree, also 30 points, 3 rebounds. Matt Kenyon, 17 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. And Lockie Bertram as well, with 12 points and 6 rebounds. No Jock Perry for them in their last few rounds. And that was definitely a tough loss for them. But yeah, it's kind of upsetting for me. We won't be able to see Mandurah in that eighth position or in the finals this year. I think they would have really competed with, the top 5 teams and really gave some teams some trouble. So hopefully they can get, some of these key guys back for next year, because I think they can make a really good run for it. So unlucky for the Magic, we won't see them in the finals, but Perth Redbacks still have a chance. And the guys you're facing this week, the Perry Lakes Hawks, getting a win over the Coburn Cougars. You would have played against Coburn a couple of times. A guy who played with Jared last year, Akeem Springs, and also Johnny Narkle. You would have, being around the group, heard about them. But yeah, they got a big win over them. Jack Browder, 32 and 11. Isaiah Moses, 28 and 5. Cam Hoofner as well, 14 points for him. Andreas Grubischer as well, 10 points also. Joe Bradshaw, 24 points, 13 rebounds. Ron McKenzie with 16 and 5. Keem Springs with 11 points, 7 assists in this one. And then, very big win for the Hawks. That's going to help them and carry them to this weekend, because they have a big test against you guys. And then also, the Suns getting a 3-point win against the Slammers, 103-99. This was in Bunbury as well. Phil Gebrewet as well, 28.7 rebounds. Martinez, 23 and 12. Pharrell Keats, 22 and 3 for him. A good game for Pharrell. And then also the Eastern Suns, Marley Sam, 26 and 5. Taranda Smith, 18 and 5. Joe Cook Green with 17. Travis Fee adding 10. Hayden Price as well, adding 10 points off the bench. Very big win for the Suns. I heard this was very back and forth. We could have seen another win from the Slammers, but Eastern Suns, Taranda Smith hit a massive three to win the game. Again, he did that in Rocco a few rounds ago, earlier on in the season. And he strikes again. And Eastern Suns as well, they move up to 5th position. And then also on Saturday, first game, the Goldfields Giants going down to the Joondalup Wolves, as the Wolves had to head to Evolution Mining Stadium. Michael Jock top scored for the Goldfields Giants, 18 points, 5 rebounds. Josh Duach as well, 16 points, 8 assists, 3 rebounds. Sam Vincent with 15 and 6 as well. And then also Matthew McLellan adding a double-double, 13 and 10. Jordan Wellsteed as well, leading the way for his Joondalup Wolves, 22.6 rebounds. CJ Turnage, 20 and 6. Tay Young as well, 10 and 2. And then Sharif Black, just the 9 points, but 10 rebounds, 4 assists for him on a great season he's had. And then we'll go to your guys' game as well at Gero at Active West Stadium against the East Perth Eagles. A few years ago, the Eagles came to Geraldton and actually beat Geraldton at home, and they hadn't lost at home for a long time. So this was a good win for you guys, 91-73, and they were looking to hopefully keep their season and keep that eighth position. But yeah, Matt, yourself, 31 points for you, and you've had an incredible, really, really good last week, a few weeks, and had some big games as well. But the main two for you was this
Yeah.
weekend against the Eagles and also Senators the week before, as I mentioned, 28 points. Has there been maybe a change? Because I know it has been hard to come into this group, I guess a little bit later, kind of replacing, someone. But yeah, how have you been feeling these last 2 weeks? And it's actually really, really good signs for you because they're going to really need you in the finals
Yeah.
and this weekend as well. So how are you feeling about heading to the finals personally with your game?
Yeah, no, I feel good. Body's feeling solid, so knock on wood,
Mm.
of course. But I think it's just uh, you know, with our team, I think everyone is very talented, eh? So
Yeah. Mm.
like, okay, I've had a couple good games, but that doesn't mean next game, Cooper isn't
Mm.
going to have 30 or Devondrick
Yeah.
isn't going to have, 30. So it's really just, um, I guess, playing the same way every game with the same mindset and, taking what the defense gives us. So um, this past couple of weeks, I think Devondrick has been out.
Hmm.
Um, so it's kind of opened up. I don't want to say it's opened up stuff for me, but I've kind of felt like I've needed to be a little more aggressive offensively in a sense,
Hmm.
but at the same
Yeah.
time, it's not like trying to force anything.
Mm.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. Hopefully, um, we're healthy and looking to be at full strength. Heading into the finals. So
Yeah.
just
Oh, well, I have noticed that Devondrick have been out a couple of weeks. I don't know if you can mention anything. Maybe it's just a little bit of a niggling little injury, or if you can't mention anything, that's okay. But hopefully, you guys can get in for the finals and maybe this weekend. But I'd say finals is more important. If you can't say anything, that's completely fine.
yeah, yeah. I'm probably gonna stay away from that.
That's
But
fine. That's right.
but
I'm always,
yeah,
it's my
yeah.
job in the media. I've got to be cheeky and I've got to ask the questions.
No, that's what I'm
But
saying.
a lot of people have asked me the question, is he okay? And, I did see him at the Warwick game. He looked fine. I thought it was maybe just a bit of so managing maybe a double header at the time, but then didn't
Mm,
play this weekend. But that's okay as well. Getting the big win is very good against the Eagles. Tough team. Josh Keys as well, 26-7.
yeah,
Liam Hunt with 8 points, 11 rebounds. Cooper Creek 6-11 as well. And then Brendan Redhead off the bench, having a good few weeks as well. 12 points and then 3 steals. East Perth, Jonah Antonio with a big one, 21 points, 6 rebounds. Lat Mayan, 16 points, 11 rebounds. David Aquera, 14 points, 8 rebounds. Deshaun Parsons as well, 14 and 8 also. So a very tough team. They are a great team.
super
They
tough.
had a very good weekend before against the Redbacks as well, having a big win. And yeah, looking at them on the standings, they're in eighth position. They have a two-game buffer between them and, well, Lakeside and Perth Redbacks. So looking pretty good this weekend for them to hopefully knock in that eighth position and keep in the finals this year because they're going to cause some trouble also. And then we'll go to the Parallax Hawks going 2 for 2 this weekend, 114-88. Michael Christmas, 26 and 6. Mike Dupree, 18 and 8 assists. Ryan Blanchard as well. I spoke to him after the game on Friday night and gave him some praise. He's been playing really well for this Mandra team after leaving your Gero Bucks last year. But 15 points, 8 rebounds. Lockie Bertram with 11, and then also Parallax Hawks, Jack Browder, 30 and 10 in this one. Isaiah Moses, 28 points, 6 assists. Andreas Grubischer as well, 15 points. Max Bucknor, a double double, 12 points, 14 rebounds. And then also Cam Hufner as well, 12 and 7. Um, there's a few guys that play in the NBL, so the league above us, our best league here in Australia. I always like to ask the imports and also, some of the star players around the league. What's it like to go up against those NBL guys? You might not know too much about the Aussie guys and their background, but your teammates would let you know that these guys are
Yeah.
full-time professionals. Do you enjoy kind of testing out your game against some of these, NBL level guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's anytime you get a chance to go against like like you said, like full-time professionals, but really high
Yeah.
level professionals. The NBL is a really
Mhm.
good league. Um, so I mean, it's awesome. I love the competitiveness. I love getting
Mhm.
to see where I stack up against them and see how I can learn from them at the same time. Just the way they carry themselves, the mental fortitude, as you can say, during the games.
Mhm.
It's been good though.
Mm.
Definitely a blessing to get to go up against guys like that.
Mm. And the thing is, I've also spoken to a few of the players, and they've got to go up against you. They've got to go up against you. Marshawn Blackman from Warwick said, he's also one of those guys. He doesn't really get worried about playing against them, which I respect. So yeah, definitely as well. They got to go up against you as well, Matt. You
Yeah,
can score the ball and create for yourself as well. So and also a good defender. What I noticed on the weekend, I thought defensively you were great as well
thank
against Warwick. But I'd love to see more, and hopefully
yeah,
with the finals, I'll be able to get to watch the Bucks. But in the next one, the Perth Redbacks went down to the Coburn Cougars. They really needed this one, 103-83 loss. Rowan McKenzie in this one, 34.6 rebounds. Keem Springs, 29 points, 4 rebounds. Johnny Narkle adding 12.6 rebounds and 6 assists. And for the Redbacks, Sean Conway, 32-4. Big weekend for him. And then Luke Phillips, 21-3 in this one. So 9 points as well for Aiden Cannington off the bench. And then moving to the Rockingham Flames, 107-91 win for them against the Willerton Tigers. This would have been a really good game at Mark Barnett Sports Complex. One of the games I'd circle for the weekend. Isaac White, 29-4 with 5 assists. Michael Harris, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. And then Blake Jones as well, 23-12 for him. Emmett Nah, 7 points and 8 rebounds. LaQuinton Ross as well off the bench, 7 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists in that win. And then for the Willerton Tigers, tough kind of ending for their season as well. They've had some injuries, had some issues there. Tayshaun Cherry still doing his thing, 25 points, 10 rebounds. Damien Scott, 19.7 assists. Tom Jerovich, 14 and 8. And the Tigers, I think, they've gone down to 7th position. They were actually first at one point of this season with an undefeated record, 7-0. So yeah, they've kind of dropped, or definitely dropped, down to that 7th position, but still going to be a tough team in the finals. And then the Warwick Senators, their season hasn't gone the way they wanted it to go. Will Cheddar heading back to America with the Portland Trailblazers in the Summer League, allowing him to go. They've had injuries. George Pearl only kind of fully settling back into his role. So it hasn't been the season for Warwick, and many issues as well. Not just those as well. There's a lot more that maybe people don't know. Corey Sherville, 27 points in this one, 5 rebounds. 109 to 98 win. I forgot to say who won. But yeah, the Senators. I was going to say, after this tough season, they've trying to finish the season off strong. Won't be able to get to the finals. But yeah, very big win for the Senators. Corey Sherville, 27-5. Isaiah Lewis, 22 points, 8 assists. Josh Davey, we know what he does. 18 points, 21 rebounds. Michael Imaragbe as well, 12 points, 5 rebounds. Marshawn Blackman, he's been pretty quiet. He was very quiet with 0 points against Geraldton, against you guys the other week. But 41 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, and he's back to his old ways. Tristan Forsyth as well, 17 and 13. Billy Ray with 15 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. George Pearl adding 10 points and 6 rebounds. So a very big win for them. And that was all the games for round 17. And before we go into round 18, I thought it'd be a good chance for us to learn more about you, Matt, and for the viewers to learn about you. I guess we spoke off air, and being from Orem, Utah as well.
mm,
I've never heard of it. Never heard of it. I
No.
know Utah, the state. I think a lot of people would know Utah, especially with basketball and everything like that. Um, but yeah, talk about growing up in Utah and yeah, how was your childhood?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I can't complain. I enjoyed it.
Mm.
A lot of people, when I tell them I'm from Utah, they're like shocked. They're like, I've never met someone from Utah.
Yeah.
But no, it's a great place. I think basketball there is constantly getting a lot better.
Mhm.
Recruiting there is getting a lot better. Like I think in the past, maybe it's been a little bit overlooked,
Mhm.
recruiting wise, just for like young lads in high school and
Yeah.
stuff. But it's
Mhm.
definitely on the rise in the basketball world, and even in like the non-basketball world, it's constantly growing. More and more
Mm.
people are moving there. It's getting more busy every time I go back home. I'm like, it's way too busy. Too many new
Yeah.
buildings, new cars,
Uh-huh. Hmm.
lots of moving pieces. So yeah, definitely. My childhood was good though. I'm grateful for it. Grateful to grow up in a place like that. Pretty safe place.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, great people. So
Mm. And also, I like to ask, how'd you get into basketball? Was it something that was passed along to you, or found yourself with friends? Yeah, talk about when you first started playing basketball.
yeah, so I think when I first started playing basketball, I was maybe 5 or 6. I don't know,
Hmm.
like just like a little kid, right? Fascinated
Yeah.
by it. My family loved it. Um, growing up, I would go to a lot of jazz games. So
Yep.
um, I don't know, I was just always fascinated and I loved it. So I lived at my grandparents' house and they had a basketball court, or not a basketball court, but a
Mm.
basketball hoop in the driveway,
Yeah. Hmm.
And me and all my friends, we would always be out there every night, just playing, dunking on the low rim,
Hmm.
shooting long range threes on the low rim, doing all kinds of stuff ever since I was a kid. So and I guess growing up, I kind of realized I was pretty good at it, and
Mm.
I fell in love with it, and it's been something ever since that, like, I don't know, it's driven me, It's been
Hmm.
it's been great. I've learned a lot. Man, I've met a lot of people through basketball. A lot of
Hmm.
people in my life I would never have met if I didn't play basketball, and that's probably one of the things that I'm most grateful for.
Mm.
And and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've been playing since I was a little kid and haven't really stopped. So grateful for that.
Mm. Yeah. And you had a chance to play junior college at Snow College, and then
Yes.
also transferred to North Dakota. I was trying to think off the top of my head who I know have played at North Dakota, and off the top of my head, so I might have to actually look at it because I know we've had some Aussies who have played there. But talk
Yep.
about your process of going through the collegiate program and yeah, your time at college, and yeah, I guess how you felt about your time at North Dakota.
Yeah, so I was fortunate to get a scholarship to go play at Snow College in Utah.
Hmm.
It's about an hour or so from my house where I grew up.
Hmm.
And it's a good program, a good school. So small town though, very small town. Ephraim,
Yeah.
super quiet. But that was good. People were good. Basketball was good. I really enjoyed my time there. Um, After my second season there, I was fortunate to get a scholarship offer from University of North Dakota, and
Hmm.
I was like, I've never heard of North Dakota in anything, not even just basketball, but anything. And
Hmm.
all I knew was going to be cold. But the coaching staff really was really welcoming, and they wanted me there. So uh, I said, you know what, let's do it. Went up there. I met some teammates that I still talk to this day, and the
Mm.
coaches, I still talk to them too. So great people. The weather was pretty rough. It was like negatives, negative, snow
Uh-huh.
everywhere.
Yeah.
The weather was tough, but basketball was fun. The teammates were top tier as well. So
Mm.
uh, I really enjoyed my time there. I think I got a lot better as a basketball player, um, offensively, but also defensively. And
Mm.
was able to go from there. So yeah,
Mm. Well, as well, you played, in Georgia as well, in the UK, which we can talk
hmm
about, and then also the G League. So yeah, but first off, I just wanted to mention because I did hear, well, just seeing some of your clips from the UK. You actually played against your teammate Cooper Creek as well. He was
yeah.
playing over there. Is that kind of the first time you guys met? And weirdly, you don't, if you want to say if you want to, but is that kind of a reason why you might be here with that connection with Cooper?
Um, I don't know about that if
Yeah,
Cooper's necessarily the reason I'm here, right?
yeah,
Um, I had a teammate in the UK
mm,
named Braden Inger. He used to play here.
yeah,
Um,
hmm,
he's like a great dude, top tier guy for sure.
hmm,
Um, but nah, it's actually crazy because when we played against Cooper, it was like the first game of the season, and
hmm,
I was like, because he can shoot it, he's pretty athletic,
hmm,
he's a good player. So
yeah,
he was shooting threes on us and he was dunking on us. I was like, dang, who is this guy? And then come to find out, I saw he signed here. Like, I think he signed back here, I don't know, December maybe. It was early.
yeah. It would have been pretty early. Yeah,
It was early, and I didn't think anything of it when I seen it at the time. But
mm,
um, when it ended up working out for me to come here, I was like, this is crazy. I went up against this guy. So it was cool. I
hmm,
kind of already knew who he was when I got here, so
mm,
that was good for sure.
yeah. And you also had a chance to play in the G League as well with the Texas Legends, which
Yeah.
would have been a great experience. Talk about how that call up came about, and yeah, I guess talk about your experience in the G League.
Yeah, so it was cool. I got a call in February, and I want to say it was about 10 p.m. and they
Hmm,
they had asked me if I wanted to come play.
hmm,
They weren't sure for how long, but
hmm,
I was fortunate enough to play in a couple games with them,
hmm,
and I really enjoyed it. And mostly, I think for me, it was a learning experience. I got to learn a lot through that.
hmm,
I got to see how professional it was, how guys carried themselves, how guys worked
yeah,
out, how they prepared, how they recovered, what they were doing, and how they watched film. Like it's really like next level stuff, and it was really cool to get to be a part of it and learn from an organization like that.
mm,
So yeah,
yeah, yeah. Great. It would have been an amazing experience.
yeah,
Was there
crazy.
anyone you came across during? I know your short time there, but was there anyone you um I wouldn't say in the G League you get starstruck by many guys because I feel like there's a lot of young guys you wouldn't know a lot of young guys who are really trying to fight for a spot. But was there any guys you knew already or heard of? Because I know we've in some teams there's been a lot of maybe NBA veterans who have
Oh
moved
yeah.
down to the G League. But was there anyone that you might have known before playing against them?
Um, Honestly, not really. Nah, not really.
Yeah.
It sounds messed up, but I got to know a
No,
couple of the
no.
guys on the team. They were
Mm,
really cool.
yeah.
Yeah, Justin Powell, he's
Yeah.
great dude, super welcoming dude.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, it was super cool.
Mm,
But there's not off the top of my head, I can't think of
that's
anyone
okay.
that I was like, oh, I know who this is. But
Yeah.
but yeah, that
No,
was
yeah.
good.
Uh, Yeah, well, amazing experience anyway. As I said, Devondrick's had that experience. We've got a few other guys around the league who have had the experience, and yeah, it would have been a great chance and a very interesting. Also, it'd be a really interesting environment. You got all these guys fighting for spots,
Yeah,
fighting for call ups, and everything like that, and a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving players as well. So I think it'd be a tough situation to play in the G League
yeah.
as well. But as well, I wanted to ask. I guess Geraldton being a small town, um, what have you liked about being, in the community, and what do you love about, yeah, the community up in Gerald?
Yeah, so the community here is great. They love the Buccaneers. They love basketball. So,
Hmm,
I think everyone takes pride in that here, and
hmm,
it's kind of like one big family. So I see I see people not every day, but almost a few times a week. I see people out and about. I'll be at
Yeah.
the store, I'll be at the beach, or I'll be really anywhere. I'll be driving. Somebody will see
Hmm.
me and they'll be like, "Oh, he's a Bucks player," and they're like just so happy to be around the Bucks. And so it's super cool to be a part of such a big piece of the community. And
Mm, definitely.
yeah,
Mm.
loved it.
Yeah. Well, as well, before we go into our final round of round 18, the NBL1 West has shown their finalists for Coach of the Year in the men's division. And we've got Lucas Allen from the Joondalup Wolves, Mike Clayton from the Coburn Cougars, Dale Joseph from the Geraldton Buccaneers, Ryan Petrick from the Rockingham Flames, and Aaron Trahair from the Eastern Suns. This is an interesting one. As we said, we're going to be there and we'll be able to hear this. And also for the viewers, like I said, we've got the link coming up this week for or to watch this live, and you can see the announcement as it happens. Dale Joseph has won it, multiple times. Um, I think Mark Clayton has, brought this team from last year, into that top eight. He has to be thought of. Even Lucas Allen has been a great coach as well, leading this Wolves team to a top three side. Um, Aaron Trahair as well, with what he's got at Eastern Suns, bringing them, from a team who haven't really been to the finals a lot. This is a tough one, but if I had to pick, I think you have to pick Dale Joseph or Ryan Petrick. Those two, for the last 3 years, have been, the top guys. Those guys who are finishing first and second and have always, and they're professionals as well. They always hold themselves, to a professional level. But yeah, I can't really pick this one, but I think Dale should take it out. But even, Ryan Petrick for the Rockingham Flames has a very good chance to get it as well. Um, but yeah, you never know. One of these guys like Mike Clayton or Aaron Trahair, who have kind of, brought their club back into the finals as well, that they have a good chance. But yeah, what's it been like for you playing for Dale Joseph? Because he's a well-known man around
Yeah,
Geraldton and also around the
yeah.
league. And yeah, kind of what's it been like playing for Dale?
It's been great. He's a great coach, great person. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing about Geraldton. I think everyone's great when it comes to basketball, but also they're
Mm-hmm.
10 times better off the court. So that's what really stands out. So I think he's a great coach, and he knows a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, very professional, and any chance that every time he speaks, it's like, okay, I get to learn something. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and he's just a great guy, like super friendly, super down to earth, not like
Mm-hmm.
super humble, like just the type of guy like that you'd want to be your coach. So it's been
Mm-hmm.
it's been an absolute blessing to be able to play for a guy like him.
Mm. Well, Matt, we'll go to the games for our final round, for round 18 in the NBL1 West. And first off, the Willerton Tigers taking on the Eastern Suns at Willerton Basketball Stadium. Eastern Suns in fifth position, 13-8, and the Willerton Tigers with a 12-9 record as they head into the end of the season. Look, whatever happens here, the Willerton Tigers should stay in seventh position unless Perry Lakes lose this weekend and Willerton win. They're pretty close in percentage, so I guess it just depends what happens there. So there's going to be a race there. Um, Eastern Suns, if they win this game and Coburn lose on the weekend, might be a chance of maybe swapping places, but there is a gap between them on points percentage as well. So depending on how that goes, 8:10 p.m. on a Friday night. It's going to be a very, very big weekend. We've got all these games going on, and then Saturday night we've got the gala, as we said, which is going to be big. And then also we've got the NBL1 uh, D League, as we call it, but Championship Grand Finals on the
Yeah.
weekend on Sunday as well. They'll be held at Bendat. Okay, this is going to be a tough one. Willerton would love to get this one to finish their season. Eastern Suns as well, to give them a bit of a boost in the season. They're in that top five, and they'd love to hopefully push out the Coburn Cougars. from the top four, and that gives you a big boost because it gives you a second chance if you're in that top four. If you do lose that first matchup, um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Eastern Suns. I'm gonna go Eastern Suns only because of the few injuries that Willerton have. Um, but Tayshaun Cherry can play, and he's put up some big numbers this season. They really need to find him, get him going early. I think that's the main key for Willerton to get wins this season is really kind of look for Tayshaun a bit more and even run some more plays. That's kind of what I've noticed from watching them this season. They could do more with Tayshaun. And then the Eastern Suns. They've got Jordan Simpson. I've heard back. He played on the weekend for a little bit. Their import, who hasn't played all season. So that's good as they head into finals. Look, Matt, I don't know if you want to kind of chime in and give a tip for this
Yeah.
one. It's up to you, but I've got the Eastern Suns. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll go as far to pick a winner, but I think they're
Yeah.
both very talented teams. Like
Mm.
Easton is very strong.
Hmm.
They play quick. They got quick guards. Obviously Marley Sam and Joe Cook Green
Yeah.
and Tarenda Smith and all them. They're very talented as well. So Willerton's really good too. So with the
Mm.
big fella, um, they got some Damian Scott.
Yeah.
They got some good pieces too. So I don't know. I think it could go either way. Um,
Yeah. Th-
but I think it'll
yeah.
be a
This one
good
will
game.
be. Yeah, this one will be a close one. Both teams want to finish out the season well, and then also the Lakeside Lightning. They're taking on the Southwest Slammers, and Southwest really coming close to the Eastern Suns, and also the Lakeside Lightning. I don't think they'll have a chance to get to finals. 2 games behind the East Perth Eagles, so I think they're just playing for, I guess, for the win in this one.
Yeah,
Um, I want to say the Slammers, but I think they're going to have to bring it like they did on the weekend because yeah they had a really good outing and only losing by 2 or 3 to the Suns. But I'm going to go Lakeside at home. I'm going to go Lakeside at home in this one. Two kind of lower table teams, but it's kind of sad Lakeside didn't make it to the top 8 because they've been a great team this year. Yeah, so I've got Lakeside in this one. And then also East Perth Eagles taking on the Coburn Cougars at Morley Sport and Rec Centre. Um, this is going to be a good one as well. East Perth, as I said, should have their top 8 position secured. They can't really, yeah, they won't be able to move, down or up the table as such. The Coburn Cougars as well, they maybe have a chance to break into that top 3. And then also, they really want this win as well to keep that top 5 secure. As we said, you lose your first game in that top 4, you have a chance, another one as well the week after. So that's going to be massive if you get into that top 4. Um, I've got Cougars. I've got Cougars in this one. But as you guys saw, East Perth on the weekend, you cannot take a back step to them. You cannot, take them for granted because they've got some,
yeah.
NBL level guys. Deshaun Parsons on there as well. They've got a really good team, but I think Coburn will get this one. And you would have seen these 2 teams lately as well, Matt. And yeah, this is going to be a really good matchup.
It's going to be a great matchup, I think, for basketball fans in Australia. I think it's going to be a great
Mm,
game. So
mm.
yeah, it's another one that
That's going
could
to be,
go either way, because they're both very
yeah.
talented teams. So
Mm. And then also the Joondalup Wolves taking on the Mandurah Magic as the Wolves, in that top 3, third position, 15-6. And then also, as we know, Mandurah Magic not able to get to the finals this year. Unfortunately, they're in 11th. So the Wolves need this, I guess, more to secure their top 3 spot. Um, this is a tough one. I think Mandurah could come in and disrupt this win for the Joondalup Wolves because Mandurah have looked really, really good in their last couple of games I've seen, and they are clicking. It'd be nice if they could get Jock Perry in before the end of the season for this game. That would also make me really pick Mandurah. Um, but I'm going to go for the Mandurah Magic in this one. I think they're going to go in there and storm in arena Joondalup, so the Wolves are at home, and hopefully get this win. That's going to be a really good game to watch out for. And then also the Rockingham Flames going up against the Perth Redbacks. Perth have had some really, really good wins, and also, on Friday night they were great, but losing on Saturday. Um, but still, for them not being able to get to the finals, the Flames as well. as we know, they're close on your tail for you guys, Matt. 17-4. So it'd be nice for you guys if they lose this one. But I guess for you guys, it's just focusing on your win. Hopefully getting that game for you guys on Saturday. But I've got the Flames in this one. I think the Flames will get the win. It's going to be a tough competition. Perth are very physical and they don't give up as well. So I've got the Flames in that one. Then on Saturday we've got two games early in the day. If you're free on Saturday, get down to Bendat or even Warwick to support these teams. Come watch some great basketball. Last, regular games of the season. So get down to Bendat or Warwick. Pretty central, I guess, being Bendat, and then also Warwick if you're from the north. Even if you're a Joondalup fan or something like that, head to Warwick as well. So on Saturday at 12 p.m., the Prairie Lakes Hawks taking on the Geraldton Buccaneers. In this one, I've got Geraldton, but I think Prairie Lakes will stand up to you guys. They won't back down. They've got some great scorers, as we mentioned. I think Max Bucknell being, a younger big, I think he'll have a tough, job on Cooper and also with Liam. Depending if Matt plays, I don't know, but I know Matt will be there anyway. This is going to be a really, really good matchup and still a really good test as you guys head into finals. How are you feeling heading into this one against the Prairie Lakes Hawks and also coming down to Bendat? And what do you guys have to do to get the win against Prairie Lakes on the weekend?
Yeah, good. I think a big thing for us is not overlooking it because
Yeah.
it's awards night, last game of the year, you know. Um, Perry Lakes is a very good team, and I think if we don't come out switched on, then
Mm,
it'll be a very tough one. So, I mean, it's going to be tough either way. So,
mm,
really just coming ready to go and prepared, and I think competing at the best we can and leaving it out on the
mm,
floor for each other. So I think that's going to be the key this weekend.
mm. And I don't know if you've dealt with it in any of your, I guess, teams or any of the countries you've played in, but have you ever kind of traveled with a team like you have Geraldton? I guess some days you're having to play. I think as well. This is actually fitting for you guys. Most Sundays you guys actually play at that
Yeah,
12 o'clock, 1 o'clock spot. So I think you won't have a problem with that. But yeah, the travel and also playing on Sundays in the morning. How have you
yeah.
like adapted to that? That must be tough to I guess adapt to.
Yeah, the first weekend was kind of tough personally,
Yeah.
but I think we played Willetton and then we played who did we play East Perth the next day at 12
Mm,
o'clock. So it's like
yeah.
I mean it's tough for sure. It's an adjustment. It's a skill to be able to do that. But I think
Hmm.
Geraldton they don't make it seem that way, It's like
Hmm.
no one's making an excuse like, oh, we had to drive this, we had to do this.
Hmm.
So I think that's kind of just the standard, and it is what it is. But I think that's how they do it. So they
Yeah. Yeah.
here in Geraldton, um, I like to say we take pride in those Sunday games because it is
Hmm.
difficult. It is like you're tired, it's a battle,
Yeah.
regardless of who you're playing against.
Hmm.
So yeah, just I guess it's it's a skill, So
Yeah,
it's good.
yeah, yeah. And a lot of the local guys, they do it all the time, so
Yep,
they're used to it. But yeah, it would be an adjustment. But I think you guys have done really well, especially on all your Sunday games. And yeah, it's so tough playing on the Saturday, and then you got to get up, I guess, extra early, get to the gym, put up shots,
yep,
and also watch some film in the morning as well, because that'd be tough as well. You've got to focus all week on the Friday night team, and then also or the Saturday night team, and then you've got that Sunday as well. So I guess you'd maybe watch film in the morning. So yeah, very tough. And then last question before we go into the last game. Have you picked out a new suit, or have you got something
yep.
fresh for this weekend? Are you going to turn up in a nice suit this weekend, or maybe something a bit
Uh,
more low key?
hopefully I do. I don't know necessarily. So
Yeah,
I'm heading up on Friday and
yeah,
to pick up a suit. So hopefully
yeah,
looks decent. We'll see. Um, I
yeah.
didn't bring a suit here
No,
to Geraldton. So yeah,
mhm,
looking forward to that as well. Hopefully we don't
mm,
have too bad of a fit on.
yeah. And also, I know I said last question, but it came in my head. Who do you think out of your team will be the worst dressed? Is there someone on
Ooh.
the team you think will be the worst dressed?
Oh, the worst dressed. Ooh, I gotta answer this correct. Nah, we'll go with Liam. Liam.
Liam, you're okay, really? All right.
Nah, just kidding.
shout,
Nah,
shout out to Liam as well. I
shout
know
out
he's
to
a great
Liam.
sport. And I don't know what you're going to be wearing, Matt, but maybe something fresh. But I think Devondrick's going to look good. I think Devondrick turns up and dresses nice, so he's going to be looking good. But we'll see on the night. So I'm very excited to see how you guys turn up as well. And then also Warwick Senators taking on the Goldfields Giants, 1 p.m. at Warwick Stadium. Both teams not being able to make it to finals. I think if Marshawn Blackman as well had a great game, I think Warwick will win this one. It'd be really nice to see them cap off a season because yeah, they're another team like Mandra. I thought we were going to see them in the finals, but unfortunately, both having tough starts to the season with injuries,
Yeah,
players not available. So yeah, but I think Warwick will get this one against the Goldfields. But yeah, look, that's it for the round 18 fixtures coming up this weekend. And as I mentioned, always download the NBL1 app and definitely download it this weekend because the stream is going to be through the NBL1 app. So you can watch all the awards as they're given out, the red carpet as well. I'll be on the red carpet interviewing. So it's a very, very exciting weekend. And yeah, but first we've got to get through the games and then we can get through the awards night and then also the first round of finals also coming up. But Matt, thank you so much for joining me. It was great to talk
yeah,
to you. And yeah, hopefully you guys have that big win this weekend and also
yeah,
some big wins on Saturday night at the awards. And then also back to business as well with the finals. But
for sure.
Matt, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you having me, man.
No worries. And like I said, good luck for the rest of the season. And
Thank you.
for the viewers, thank you so much for checking into the show this week. Big week coming up. So stay tuned with everything on our social media and also the NBL1 West social media. And also shout out to all of our sponsors as well. Give them a follow as well. But thank you so much. And we'll be back to preview and also go through all the award winners next week and also the first round of the finals here on Fast Break.